Hey everyone, we're here to show you how to disassemble and reassemble your 8mm BMX hub using a 6mm hex key and a 2.5mm hex key. This would be done to remove the axle assembly so you can service the bearings or clean out the helix cut on the inside of the hub shell. Begin by removing your axle bolts using a 6mm hex key. Unthread by turning counterclockwise. Next, locate your pinch bolt on the preload collar and use your 2.5mm hex key to loosen. You may now hold your axle and rotate in a counterclockwise rotation to remove the preload collar and the knurled widget on the end of the axle. Be careful not to lose this widget when removing. Next, you will need to push on this end of the axle. Partially reinstall your axle bolt, and using the palm of your hand, press into the hub. This will unseat the axle towards the opposite side. Now you can remove your axle bolt again and pull the axle out through the opposite end of the hub. Now that you've gone through and cleaned everything in the hub and your bearings, you can reinstall the axle by sliding across the hub and a firm press using the palm of your hand to seat the axle into place. Now you can install your preload collar using a clockwise rotation until it just touches the bearing. You can hold the axle on the opposite end to fine-tune this adjustment. Once in place, take your 2.5 hex key and tighten the pinch bolt. Next, press on the knurled widget on the preload side of the axle, and then loosely install your axle bolts. Leave these loose so you can install the hub in the fork and finalize your preload adjustment. Once in your fork, ensure that your axle bolts are tightened to riding torque spec. Next, take your 2.5mm hex key and loosen the pinch bolt on the preload collar. Rotating the collar counterclockwise will loosen preload and allow for side-to-side play in the hub. Turning clockwise will alleviate side-to-side play. Too much preload will cause bearing drag and a slow rolling hub. Adjust until you find the sweet spot, then use your 2.5mm hex key to tighten the pinch bolt on the collar. You are now ready to get back on the track.